Hello and welcome back to the channel. Stupid here, and today we have a match between myself, rare occasion, I know, on the left side, rocking the Archaludon deck that I profiled in a video recently on the channel. I'll have that linked in the iCard, and I'm up against my buddy Dante on the right playing Lugia VSTAR. Of course, we record these games at our weekly Pokemon game at Watchtower Game Lounge in Mineral Ridge, Ohio. So if you ever are in the area and you want to come hang out, we have Pokemon League every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So come hang out, and maybe you'll get featured on stream one of these days if you do decide to come and play. And Dante does mulligan, and I do remember now I didn't take my extra card, but I go first here. I won the coin flip. I'm going to start with double Duraludon and a Radiant Greninja. Got a Nest Ball here, and I do believe I grabbed the Zamazenta. That way I can cycle through my hand and then get as many metal energy in the discard pile and maybe find like a way to find an Archaludon on the next turn and then start attacking. Yeah, we go in for the Zamazenta, and I'm going to go ahead and basically play a couple more cards here. I do think I go ahead for the concealed cards to get an energy in the bin, draw two more, find more options, finding an Earthen Vessel, discarding an Iono to grab two more, and I have a Pal Pad to put that Iono back into the deck because I'm going to discard my hand anyways. Contemplating playing the Pokestop, and then I was like, might be a bad idea. Might help Dante out a little bit more. Considering that he just has a Lugia. I know he hasn't had a turn yet. And then, yeah, I go ahead and use the ability on the Zamazenta, get a new hand. And then Dante is off to attach a double turbo onto the Lugia and then play an Ultra Ball, discarding a gift and Archeops, finding another Archeops. And I think Dante does here bench a Mincino. I would have preferred... Oh, no, goes in for the Carmine first, then benches the Mincino. And I would have preferred, honestly, like, to see this Lugia retreat, but we're going to see it capturing Aroma, hit heads, grabbing an evolution Pokemon. It's the third Archeops. And then we're going to see Dante with a Read the Wind, going to draw 3 cards. And yeah, I think a retreat would have been a little bit better. It forces me to have a gusting option. And now I just know if I can get this Arch evolved, and we have the Ultra Ball, discarding the bundle and a Pokegear, fighting the first Arch, going to go ahead and evolve the active, attach 2 energy to it, and then I'm going to play a Night Stretcher, grabbing a third energy from the discard pile and attaching it for turn, and then just smacking straight up for 220, which is a knockout on Lugia, taking the first 2 prize cards of this game, and declaring that I have no weakness next turn. But, you know, there's not typically a fire Pokemon here in Lugia. At one point in time, they used to play Radiant Charizard, not anymore. And we see a Mist Energy, as well as an Evolution, and a second Mincino. And then another Capturing Aroma, another Heads. Flipping all the heads on these. I think at this point in time, he would have preferred to hit Tails to get a basic. But there is the Lugia VSTAR going to hand. And not much else. We see the Water Ogerpon. And then, yeah, I'm just getting hit with the 30 damage here. Since he doesn't have 2 for special roll, I think it's just like clean up and discard tool cards. I start off with an Earthen Vessel, discarding a Metal Energy, grabbing 2 more. And we're going to go ahead and concealed cards, drawing a few more here, finding the Relicanth. Looks like I also have Professor's Research, going for the Pokemon Catcher, flipping heads, bringing up that Ogerpon. And I think I'm just going to smack in here. We're going to have a Nest Ball, grabbing another Duraludon, so I have at least 2 on the bench if for whatever reason something happens to where I get like trap behind something else. Go ahead and I turn attach onto the Zamazenta out as well. And then, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and Metal Defender here, take another 2 prize cards. And this game is pretty much just sealed up. We see the Blood Moon Ursaluna hit the bench, as well as a Lumineon V. Lumineon is probably going to get Dante maybe a Boss's Orders. Nope, going for the Professor's Research, needs a fresh hand. The Ursaluna can attack for 1 energy here, and there is the Jet. Look at that pretty gold Jet energy. There's the Research. Already had a boss in hand, so could have potentially bossed up the Zamazenta and took a KO on that, but really just needs to establish a Lugia here. And problematic for me is the fact that Blood Moon Ursaluna has 260 HP, and I'm only doing 220, but I do get smacked here with that Blood Moon Ursaluna, putting me up to a lot of damage, 270 on my Arch, and I'm just going to go ahead and Turo the Duraludon off the bench the Relicanth, explain the attack, and basically just do 80 plus 10 for every damage counter on that Archaludon thanks to the Relicanth's ability. Now, normally, most of the games that we record are a best of one, but hang tight, we have another game of this series. All right, we have a game 2, and we go ahead and re-roll again here. Normally, you know, we play best of one at Pokemon League since we have a limited time, but in this case, we finished pretty quickly, and Dante was like, hey, you want to play again? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Maybe we get a better matchup here. And I go ahead and have a mulligan while Dante does set up. I didn't realize that, like, I was very aesthetically matched during this league session. The Gengar playmat, the Gengar shirt, the lavender sleeves, the pink and purple playmat, basically. I'm really feeling the vibes. And we start off with the Radiant Greninja into the Mincino and a Mist Energy attached, Pheasantipity benched for Dante, and a pass. And I've got an Earthen Vessel to start things off, ditching a metal to grab 2 more metal, thinning the deck, and then we've got access to concealed cards, plus whatever else. Bench Duraludon, concealed cards, finding a Pokegear. There's the Relicanth, attaching for turn onto the Greninja. That way I can potentially pivot if it gets trapped, and I need to be able to just evolve into an Arch and attach to it as well. Research, dumping my hand here, finding a fresh 7, and ooh, the Pokestop, milling 2 Duraludon, but I do have the Night Stretcher to establish a second one onto the board. That way I'm able to accelerate multiple energy. Fingers crossed here, Dante's going for the Pokestop. I was hoping he wouldn't have hit any like Archeops or whatever, but it does find a Capturing Aroma. Bossing up the Relicanth, hitting heads on the Aroma here, getting an Archeops into their hand. That way they can, you know, hopefully get these discarded and then get a Lugia to stick and then Summoning Star. I think after we play these games, I really realized that like we kind of do a lot of damage into Lugia. The 220 is just perfect. We've got the Arch evolve, attaching 2, and then Earthen Vessel, discarding an Iono, grabbing 2 more. Dante did hit me for a little bit of damage with that cleanup attack. I'm going to go for the Pokestop, and I find another Vessel and a Pokegear, and I can't quite tell if I play... There's the Eterna attachment. We're going for the Earthen Vessel, discarding the Pokegear. I could have maybe kept Pokegear, maybe discarded something else, and I didn't even need to do that. All the energy is spoken for, and then I research here. I guess I didn't need to play the Pokegear. I had the supporter of choice, ultimately. And then Nest Ball into the Staryu. Staryu in this matchup really doesn't do anything. Neither does the Starmie, ultimately. Benching another Duraludon, but I have another Arc, and I'm going to go ahead and attach 1 onto the loaded one and 1 onto the fresh one. Then I'm able to retreat. And then attack here into the Mincino for a single prize. Dante promotes the Fez, goes for a Capturing Aroma, hits Tails, finally hits the Tails after both these games, and is able to find a Lugia V. Flip the Script is active. We're most likely going to see that as the next action here, or Dante can draw 3 cards since I took a knockout during my last turn. And it looks like the Pokestop here, does hit a Lugia into the discard as well as a Gift Energy, but also getting that Archeops in there is really good for him as well. There is the Blood Moon. We see the Jet bringing the Blood Moon up, just kind of like a defensive wall. It's denying me from taking a prize card. And then bossing up the other Duraludon, just kind of stalling me out here a little bit. And I draw for turn. I've got Research, double Nest Ball, Pokestop. I'm going to throw away that Nest Ball with the Earthen Vessel, just to thin cards out of my hand. Give the deck a little bit of a shuffle. And go for the Pokestop, hits the Pal Pad, and an Ultra Ball. I lose the Staryu here, but Ultra Ball discarding that second Nest Ball, as well as a Pokestop, grabbing another Archaludon, and then I'm going to go ahead and double check what I got in the bin. I'm going to evolve the active, attach 2 to it as well. I'm going to retreat into another one, boss up that Lugia, and then smack it with Metal Defender, going to 3 prizes remaining, just preventing Dante from even establishing that Lugia VSTAR. Ultra Ball discarding 2 Archeops, getting them into the bin and grabbing another Lugia V. And at this point, the Ursaluna is getting close to attacking. A double turbo here would enable it right now. The flip the script happens, finds another Mincino, hits it onto the bench. And I think we might just see some sort of pass. Nope, goes for the Pokestop. Mills Iono Research and Legacy Energy. Attaches a Mist to the Mincino and passes it over. I don't have much going on either. I've got another Ultra Ball, but I don't have any Duraludon in play to accelerate. So we go for the Pokestop. I do hit 3 items here. It goes for the Pokemon Catcher, and we hit the heads, bringing up the Lugia. And I'm going to be able to smack that Lugia and take 2 prize cards. I Palpad both Boss's orders back into the deck. When you flip heads on those Pokemon Catchers, it just feels unreal. And then your Metal Defender once again taking another 2 prizes, putting me down to 1 remaining, where now the bear can swing with this lone energy. We see a V-Guard on to the Mincino, an Ultra Ball discarding a Canceling Clone, and something else I couldn't quite tell what it was. Dante has to get another Lugia, and it has to stick. But I think at this point in time, that's 3. 1 was milled, and then 2 were knocked out. There is the Lumineon, and yeah, I don't see a world where anything can happen here. Looks like he grabbed a Boss's orders, and I might get stalled out again, or I assume I'm going to get Iona. That's why I was shuffling my hand, evolving into the Cincino, and flipping the script to draw 3. There's the boss on to the Arch, and it's got no way of getting out of the act of this turn. He doesn't attack it, considering what happened last game. Ultra Ball discarding Zamazenta, as well as the Hyper Blower, Iron Bundle, grabbing the Starmie, and I'm going to go ahead and probably pop the Starmie off here to place 2 damage counters like anywhere. It doesn't really matter where they go. Onto the bear, I guess it makes the most sense. Counting how many cards I have left in my deck, play the Pokestop off, find the Prime Catcher, swap up into the Pheasantipity, and then Metal Defender as Dante angrily throws his hand into the board, jokingly, actually, and then we fist bump. But that is it for this best 2 of 3 clean, quick little game here on the channel. If you enjoy this content, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and comment down below what matchups and decks that you want to see in the future from me. If you want to consider supporting me even beyond subscribing, consider becoming a member for as low as 99 cents. It helps me fund content like this and continuing to do a lot more in the future. I might even have a second channel coming, so keep an eye out for something else. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love and peace out.